Hi guys, this is Mr. Assassin and I'm here today to do another review of Tower of God. Uh, Now I haven't done any reviews last week because Hunter x Hunter was on hiatus and um, I really took a vacation and I know I should have uploaded some more videos about Tower of God, but I'm here today and hopefully I will get more videos this week. I'm also thinking of starting reviewing Attack on Titan, so I will not use the same format that I'm using for Tower of God because this clearly is not working. Um, because there are so many chapters and I'm able to review 3 or 4 chapters each video, because if not the video will get too long. Then the format I'm going to use in Attack on Titan is that I will have a discussion about what happened so far, and then I'm going to review each chapter as it comes out every month. Okay, so with that being said, let's go in. I think we stopped last time at chapter 28, the end of chapter 28, so this is going to be, I think, 29, 30 and 31. And they do have a lot of information about the nature of the tower and the nature of Shinsho, about Bam, and about Rachel. So I'm going to start presenting them point by point, and then I'm going to tell you my conclusions and what I think at this point in time. Okay, so in the last chapter that I reviewed, Bam just woke up from his coma, and even though Kun told him that the girl he tried to save was not Rachel, he still believed that she was in fact Rachel, and he doesn't know. I mean, he does know why she would want to leave him behind, but he doesn't know. He cannot comprehend what the skies and the stars mean to her, because in his mind, once again she left him behind. She went to climb the tower up ahead, and that's exactly, by the way, as a parenthesis, that's exactly what Rachel wanted when she told Kun to lie for her. She wanted Bam to believe that she went ahead, so Bam will follow her. But returning to the story, Bam believes that he was again left behind, and he doesn't understand Rachel's dream. She wants to see the stars and the sky, the real ones, not the fake ones, and he doesn't get that. He doesn't get the power that these things have over her, and he even says, beautiful stars and the skies, freedom, what are them what are those anyway? I just don't care. So for him, Rachel is way more important than freedom or anything else, which will tie in with the end of chapter 31, I think. When Rachel, we can see her, she had a dream, and in her dream she was at the top of the tower. She could almost see the stars, the sky, she can taste the freedom, but when she looks behind, Bam is not, I mean, he is there, but he's turning back, and more friends gather around him, more and more characters gather around him, and she's left behind. And in her mind, and this is my opinion, but in her mind she probably thinks now that she will fail to leave the tower if Bam gets any more friends, because he will be less and less tempted to follow her through the tower and climbing the tower, and more tempted to spend the life with the friends he is making. So she wants to motivate him to climb the tower after her, in his mind, because we already know that it's the exact opposite. Bam is climbing the tower up ahead and she's following behind his footsteps. And where that's going to lead, we'll have to see. I'm not giving any spoilers at this moment, but basically that dream that she has ties up with what Bam is talking in chapter 29 at the beginning. And now there are 3 more points. Yeah, there is the class of the class of Shinsho that Bam is taking. There is the administrator of the level, and also the spear bearer class. Okay, so first of all, we go into the class of Bam goes into his class, teaching class of Shinsho, and they meet their teacher, a guy that is wearing a sheep costume, and you can tell right from the beginning that there's something funny with this guy, and we will see in the later chapters. His name is let me check. Yeah, his name is Yuga. He's the guy in a sheep costume. He's also in class with Laure, the sleeping guy, and the chick with the red hair. She was a ninja in the previous test. She was dressed up like a ninja. Her name is Ryu. And basically those are the most important characters in this class, because there are other persons in that class, but not as important as they are. Sorry. And basically the instructor tells them that Shinsho is very dangerous, that he could kill all of them in that classroom in 5 seconds without even moving, just by Shinsho. Because the way he put it, Shinsho is a material that has the properties of God. Shinsho is the world itself. It allows you to live, it allows you to breathe, it allows you to use energy. It is the basis of all energy. So this substance that can be found throughout the tower, I would even say that the tower is made out of this substance. It gives life, it can take life, it can create, it can take any form, like water, fire, light, etc. Many forms, when we will see in the later chapters. But basically, if you control Shinsho, you can do whatever you want. And that point right there ties in with the administrator for each level, and we'll see in just a minute. So basically, their professor, their teacher, tells them that basically their teacher tells them that in order to use Shinsho, you either do 2 things. You have a Shinsho based weapon, And if you have one of those weapons, you don't need a contract with the administrator, or you can manipulate Shinsho yourself, in which case you need to contact the administrator for each level and make a contract with the administrator. So basically, from what we can currently understand, this administrator, if the tower is made out completely out of Shinsho, these administrators that lie at that habit each level are like the pillars of the tower, because the tower is a structure made out of Shinsho. That's what I believe, and these administrators, gestion, they, what is the word here? They fluctuate. They control the flow of Shinsho for the tower. So each level. So they are the ones who decide if Shinsho is more powerful, less powerful, who can control Shinsho at this level, and we will see. I'm getting ahead of myself, but we will see. So basically, if you have a Shinsho based weapon, you don't need a contract, because the weapons have already been validated by the administrator when they were created. But if you're trying to manipulate Shinsho by yourself, you will need a contract with the administrator. And that is very important, because now their teacher asked them to get their pockets, the ones that they get when they start climbing the tower, and basically talk to the administrator by using the pockets. And how do you do that? You turn your pockets visible and you say, I want to make a contact with the administrator, and you get teleported. I don't think it's teleported. I think it's somehow in your mind, a telepathic discussion in your mind between each individual that wants to create a contract and the floor administrator. In the case of Laure, he already made the contract, but in the case of Bam, of Ho, of Ryun, they don't have a contract, and they must have a contract. And we see Bam taking his pocket out, closing his eyes, saying that I want to make a contract with the administrator, and I don't think he's teleported. He starts having a telepathic communication with this being, this monster that looks like a very, very huge turtle. At least that's how I describe it. And everything is black and white. They're in a endless void, I could say, and in this void it's this giant turtle, and he's the administrator, and he's all like, well, did you came here to fight or to make a contract? And Bam is like, yeah, I came here exactly for that, I mean for the contract. And then the administrator says, and this is very important, but let me take a look at you and see if you are able to control Shinsho, are worthy to control Shinsho. And when he takes a look, you can see the administrator, this giant creature, being amazed. He's amazed at probably Bam's potential. And he even tells Bam that he is very tasty. And if you extrapolate, if you think about it, if these creatures are controlling the flow of Shinsho throughout the whole level, then they must be made out of Shinsho too. I mean, they're like fail safes for the tower, because the tower is a structure that relies solely on Shinsho. Shinsho creates water, it creates fire, it creates light, it creates energy for the tower. for the tower. So Shinjo is God, and these guys, the administrators, are like God's generals. They control the Shinsho, and they probably are made out of Shinsho as well. So when this guy says you are very tasty, you can assume that Bam has inside of him a great capacity to perform Shinsho, to control Shinsho, and this is right after this moment. This is enhanced. It becomes even more obvious because the administrator agrees to form a contract with Bam, but he tells Bam, the administrator tells Bam, and this is very important, that this contract is not your power. This contract represents your shackles throughout the tower. These contracts are your shackles. So in a way, Bam has way more power, but the administrator only allows him to use a 2F level of power out of all his power. Like let's say Bam has 100x power, and the administrator just put shackles by forming that contract. He only lets Bam handle like 20% of his power, and this is both for his safety because he doesn't know how to control it yet, but also because of the contract right now. Even if Bam wants to use 100% of his power, he cannot. He has to abide the contract with the administrator. So let's say someone powerful comes and wants to kill Bam. Well, now he can, because Bam cannot use his full powers at this level, at least. So that's the way it goes. This contract, the 2F contract, whatever that means, we will see further on, doesn't represent Bam's power. It represents Bam's shackles. And I think that is all. Oh no, there's one more thing, and this is very important, even furthering strengthening the speculation that I have, because there's a scene between Ho, the girl with red horn, Bam, and the sleeping guy, Mr. Lauer. And the girl with the red horn says, well, I can use Shinsho, but only about this much. And she creates a small ball of light, and she juggles the ball of light around. And she says, well, this is the maximum of my power, because this is the maximum of my talent. I cannot go any further than this. But Bam is amazed because he never seen this before in his life, and he says, well, that's great. And she's all like, no, that's not great. That's pathetic, isn't that so, Mr. Lauer? And the sleeping guy, Mr. Lauer, says, well, yeah, it's pathetic. And Bam turns to Lauer, and he tells him, aren't you being a bit harsh? And the guy is like, well, no. Stick out your arm. And Bam sticks out his arm, and this guy is think about the world, the entire world, and think about it concentrating on a point in your arm, in your hand. And he thinks about that, and he creates the exact ball of light that the girl Ho created, and he does that from the first try, just like that, and without any effort, just does it. So Mr. Lauer proved his point, because he says, well, kid, that's what we call talent. To do couldn't no, actually, to do right from the start, right from the first try, something that has taken another several days, probably, or weeks or months to learn, that talent. This girl actually trained to get that level. Bam, just by seeing it, he was able to do it. Just like that. So Bam, again, the notion is reinforced that Bam is very strong and very capable at manipulating Shiju. But we will leave it like that for now, because Bam, at first you think that he is a worthless kid. He cannot do much, that he has to rely on his friends. But from this point on, Bam is going to get more and more dangerous, and you will see, and you will love this character. Now the final part, the part that I kept for the end, and I will go quickly through it, is with the spear bearer recruits. And there's a scene with the Gator, with Turek, where their instructor, Yu Bokdol, the ranker Yu Bokdol, is their instructor for spear bearer, and he tells them, well, if any of you can hit a target, and mind you, this target is very far away, like kilometers away. If you can hit this target within 4 days, you are automatically pass. And the guys are, well, what the hell, we cannot hit this target, it's very far. And of course Rack, the Gator, he's always full of himself, and he tries it. He goes there and yeah, now that's a challenge. I was getting bored, and he tries to hit it, and of course he misses. And right after him comes the irregular guy. His name is, or its name, because I don't know if it's a creature or its name is, let me check, Akrimung. Yeah, that's the irregular name. He hits it from the first try, and of course he gets in an argument with the Gator. I'm not going to go through that because it doesn't have any value to the story, but it is funny. Anyway, the irregular passed, and we will not see him in this class from now on. But we see Rack, the Gator, is very nervous that he was outclassed, and that's kind of the whole story. We also get to see a scene with Lesho, with Hatsu, with Bam and Kun, because it seems that the guys that are in the scouting unit, the recruits from the scouting unit, have been given a list, and they have to get 10 of the other members to sign the list. It's a friends list, so basically they have to accumulate 10 friends in a week. That's the test, the first test as a scout. And when you think about it, it's important that a scout can get information, that a scout can talk to people and get information from them. That a scout seems friendly. He doesn't give away his true intentions, and that's how he gathers information for the rest of the team. That's a very important role. So if you can convince 10 people within a week to sign a list to be your friend, then you're a very persuasive guy. If you are a very persuasive guy, you can actually do your job good. You can go within an enemy encampment, and you can gather information. You can convince the people, because you are persuasive, you can convince the people there that you mean no harm, that you want to join them perhaps, and all this time you gather information, which is critical for your team then to attack on the information you gave them. So that's that part. And of course Kun and Hatsu get into an argument. They are making fun of each other, but in the end they end up signing the list because Bam signed it, and they all follow Bam's lead. Okay, so let me see if I have anything else to talk about. Okay, so that's basically the chapters. As a conclusion, Rachel right now is very fearful that Bam is not going to follow her through the tower. In quotes, follow her through the tower, because she's not actually in front of him in the tower, but that's what he believes. And what plan she will apply, we'll see in the future, to motivate Bam to climb the tower. She may attack his friends, we don't know. I talked about the administrators and how they control the flow of Shinsho through each level, and each level has an administrator. And I have to talk as a conclusion about the pockets, because these pockets are very strange. They are like a mini computer which help to connect the person inside the tower to the tower itself. They connect the persons that are climbing the tower, that are living there, with the essence of the tower itself. And this is, if you think about it, this is kind of like a reverse Matrix, like in the movie. In the movie, in Matrix, you had the humans connected to an artificial world. But now, the people that are living inside the tower connect themselves to an outside world of Shinsho. I don't know if it's outside world, but it's definitely a different world. A world of Shinsho. They connect themselves to the structure, to the tower. I don't know what that's going to lead. My hypothesis is that, and I've always wondered what is outside of the tower. If there truly is a sky and stars that Rachel says, then the tower must be on a planet, and if the tower is on a planet, then when you get outside of the tower, you probably got a whole planet to explore. So why is this Shinsho available only in the tower? And most importantly, why do some irregulars that come from outside of the tower can have the possibility to control Shinsho, like Yurek Mazino, which came from outside of the tower. He broke the door of the tower and he climbed right to the top. That's how powerful he was. So what exactly is outside of the tower, and how are these pockets connecting the people? Because we know Bam is an irregular. How are they connecting the people to the structure itself, to the tower itself? And what does that mean? How can the administrators put shackles on you to limit your control of Shinsho, like they did with Bam right now? This I will probably go and in this weekend I will probably do some more reviews, get probably go 10 or 12 chapters in the story, and then I will try to make a discussion, or I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what I will do. I will try to make a discussion about Shinsho, about the tower, about the pockets, and about the control of the tower and the controlling families of the tower, because I have a theory about that, and my theory is that these families that control the tower, Zahar, the king that controls the tower, Kun's family, these families, I don't think they need to make a contract with the administrator. I think they can control the Shinsho freely, and I don't think they got to the top of the tower. I think they got to a level where they stopped because they couldn't get any further because it was too hard for them to do the test. And right now they are trying to manipulate the regulars that come through the tower, put pressure on them to find someone who can actually who actually has the abilities to help them get a level further than where they are stuck right now. But I'll make a whole discussion about this. We have to get, before I do the discussion, we have to get familiar with some of the families that are at the top of the tower, and how the hierarchy is set up. And yeah, I think I'll leave it like this for now. So rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me if there's anything else you want me to review, because I think I should add some more content to my channel. And until next time, have a nice day.
Any rational society would either kill me or put me to some use.